Today, we're going to be turning this into that and giving you a chance to win this. Hey guys, Skylar here from the Mint Changeyoucanwear. And today we're going to be making a coin ring out of a Morgan dollar and some stabilized burl wood. And we're going to be auctioning this ring off for Destiny Rescue. I'll give you some details about that a little bit more later in the video. And we'll also be explaining how you can win that other coin ring. Alright guys, let's get into it. So this is the wood we're going to be using. It's a stabilized burl wood. And here's our Morgan dollar we're going to be using. And this is the hole punch we're going to be using. This is a Jason's Works Auto Punch. You can find these for sale on all the other coin tools you're going to be looking for at jasons.works. Alright, after it comes out of the punch, you can see it's got a really sharp edge. So what we're going to be doing is taking this deburring tool and rounding off that sharp edge, so that way we're not going to get any splits. A ton of people ask me where I get these. Actually, I get them from
China. You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China. I like China.
Well, China, via eBay. Now that we have it all sanded up, we need to anneal it so we can soften the metal and it'll allow us to start bending it. Now we're going to be using our 17-degree dies and folding cone to fold this Morgan down. Our next step requires us to put it into a Swedish wrap die, but right now it's too wide to fit. So we're going to shrink it down in the 17-degree die. Thanks, Ralph. Alright, it should fit now. We need to re-anneal it again. And before we put it into a Swedish wrap die, we have to protect the coin by wrapping it with about 25 layers of Teflon tape. And now we finally Swedish wrap it. And what this is going to do is going to shrink the whole coin down into a smaller size. And in order to get a straight walled ring, we're going to turn the coin around and then repress it. That way the walls of the ring are nice and straight. This is a pretty important step because we're going to be turning it down on a lathe a little bit later. And having nice even walls is really important. Okay, we're going to be putting it in our lathe now and using our boring bar to cut the inside of this ring out. And you notice I'm using this piece of PVC. It's a collet that I've made. And after my North American ring, the disaster I had there, I discovered that if you make a little collet to hold it, you're not going to have any issues with damaging the coin ring or holding the coin ring. Alright, so now we're going to be cutting our burl wood down, and we just want to slice just a little bit wider than our Morgan dollar. Now we need to sand our wood round in order to fit it into the lathe. Now we just need to drill the center out of it and then bore it a little bit wider so it'll fit onto one of our expanding ring mandrels. And we get these ring mandrels at bangleguy.com. And when this ring is completed, we're going to be auctioning it off at the second annual Taste for Freedom. It's a dinner and auction that's going to be benefiting Destiny Rescue. And this organization, they save kids from the sex trafficking industry. It's going to be held April 26th at 6 p.m. in Newburgh, Oregon. So if you want to buy tickets for that, I'll leave a link in the description box below for that. If you do go, make sure you stop by my table and say hi. I'd love to see you. And if you can't go, consider donating to Destiny Rescue. I'll leave a link in the description box below for that as well. Now we need to clean this Morgan up in a jeweler's pickle. Now that it's all clean, we're going to degrease it with some dish soap and then get it ready for the liver of sulfur bath we're going to be putting it in. We'll let it soak in this liver of sulfur for about a minute, and that'll be enough to darken the silver up. Now we're going to be joining the wood and the coin together with some epoxy. After we put it together, we're going to let it sit overnight, and we'll come back to it after that. Now it's good and dry, so what we're going to do is sand all the extra wood off and get it ready for the final shaping. Now what we're doing is cutting out the excess wood in there and get it to our final size, and then start doing the final shaping of the wood and the outside of the coin ring. And we're just using some sandpaper to sand the wood into the final shape. We start with about 200 grit or 220 grit and move our way up to about 1200 grit. We're just going to flip it around and do the other side the same way. And in order to shape the outside of the ring, we put it back on the ring mandrel and use some sandpaper to start rounding it off. And we're going to do the same thing, start with about 220 grit, move your way up to about 1200 grit. And once we've done that, we take our 4/0 steel wool and start to lightly sand off some of that antique finish that we left with the liver of sulfur to get it right where we want it. And now what we're going to be doing is putting our final finish on the burl wood on the inside. So we're using some ultra thin mercury CA adhesive. And this is our finished result. We're going to be adding wood lined rings to the website really soon also. So if you guys want to check it out, go check a look at my website. It's Changeyoucanwear.net. And you can win the other ring that we had at the beginning of the video by guessing how much this ring goes for at that Destiny Rescue auction. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and then comment in the comment section what price you think it's going to go for. Now auctions are weird, sometimes they can go for really little or they can go for a ton. And the next video after that auction's over, I'm going to go ahead and announce the winner. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.